Hello and welcome to another episode of Sport Federation TV. I'm Ch263 and once again I'll be your host. We've got a great lineup tonight with very varied sports, 4 very varied and completely different and completely exciting sports that we'll have in the show tonight. And later on in the show, you're also going to get another opportunity to win a case of assorted Bashers drinks. So please keep your cell phones ready for that announcement. With me first, from the sport of golf, we have Avril van der Rheede, who's here from the Jamestown Golf Club. Welcome, Avril.
Thank you for having me.
Well, you've been involved with golf for quite a while. Hey.
Yes, I've been. Technically, I've started golf in 2000 when I was building a few houses at Boschemere Golf Estate and started hacking a few clubs. But technically, I started having a handicap since 2006 up till today. So I started off with a 26 handicap and I'm currently a 6 handicap. So
yeah, for those people watching now, and including myself, who are not so in tune with the golf lingo, explain what a handicap means.
Handicap is basically just a criteria of how they measure your quality of golf. And the handicap is determined by a system, Handicap South Africa, where you submit your ranges of gross scores. And they take the best 10 these days scores and they calculate the average on how you perform. And that's how you determine your handicap. So
the higher your handicap?
The worse golfer you are.
Ah.
And so the less handicap, the worse you are. And then if you go to -1, that's extremely good. Scratch and -1 is very good.
So
your pros plays off a +6 handicap type of.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so at the moment in the world, who has the best handicap?
Well, I wouldn't. You can't really say. As soon as you become a pro, you're automatically a -6.
-6.
And then you go into the top golf ranking, world ranking, so to speak.
Wow.
So then handicap doesn't really matter.
Okay. Historically, though, golf has been seen as also kind of one of those elitist sports.
Yes.
How has it changed in recent times?
It hasn't changed much, and that is our challenge as Jamestown Golf Club. We set out to be in 2001, so we've been around since 2001. We set out to be a club that would look at the previously disadvantaged type of golfer, and we've got a few slogans. One is making golf affordable and accessible for everyone, and then also developing golfers for life. So I pride myself to be a Jamestown Golf member and chairman, vice chairman of the club. And in the same breath, just apologize for my chairman that couldn't be here because of work commitment. So we set out to be a club that would make golf affordable and accessible for everybody. And how we got that right was to form alliances in the industry, meaning that we've got the likes of the Zalza that was fantastic in the olden days with a guy like Hugo de Toy that helped us. Hugo used to be the champion of SA paraplegic golf because he only hit with one hand. And with the likes of Stellenbosch Golf Club. And for recent years, we were very fortunate to have a partner like Somerset West Golf Club that took us under the wing as a black partner, say it as it is, and they benefit from it by using us to get a lot of money and to upgrade the facility, which is dual use, meaning that we also benefited from it. We are currently talking to Greg de Donker, fantastic guy, friend of mine as well. He's with Saga, and he's head of transformation for South African Golf Association, where he's looking at promoting sub-clubs, which we are. We don't have a golf course. We just have members and alliances with entities that have the facility. So using the facility of Somerset West, the Zalza and Stellenbosch has been the platform that we operated from, and it was and still is very phenomenal.
So, I mean, if I get you right, you're looking at creating sustainable outreach programs.
Yes.
Well, in partnership with certain corporates.
That's correct.
Okay, and you've managed to
achieved it.
Achieved it.
Achieved it.
You've achieved it.
Yeah, we have achieved it, and we're looking at long-term goals and short-term goals. Eventually, having our own clubhouse at the end of the day. Maybe having our own golf course at the end of the day. But what I can also say is golf is an elite sport, so only the elite can play it. I'm quite fortunate to be a CEO of a good company. And I've got full membership at the Zalza. But back to my roots is where do I live my life with a purpose is taking my pro bono time and effort and promoting the club like we do today to get the guys that are lower down in the status ranks to assist them to live out their character, because you get phenomenal golfs and the guys are working at council, the guys are working You know, I don't want to actually...
Untapped talent, otherwise untapped.
Untapped talent.
Yeah.
And we've got club champs that comes from really, really hard backgrounds, and we as the executive are very proud to see how these oaks walk up to the stage and take a trophy, with so much pride, and the status level has been sliced with a very sharp knife.
You know, when you initially raised this this point about, you know, raising a certain type of gentleman or gentlewoman,
Yes.
like you say, this is a sport historically dominated by white people as well.
Yes.
Now, what is your point of reference for how the young athletes coming into the sport carry themselves? Do we honor the proudly South African, yes, you're Cape Townian, yes, you're Cape coloured, or we want you to behave in a certain way to be accepted in the sport?
Yeah, basically, if you just stick to the golfing ethics of golf, and then if you thrive towards those type of standards, everything else will just fall into place of being that stature of person, and then colour wouldn't make a difference at all.
Okay.
I can see that through the Sunshine Tour, and Grant and the likes of Nathan and them, they're doing an extremely good job with regards to the Gary Player Foundation that's been brought up now to develop golf and make it more, to expedite the transformation process. Golf is too white. You can see it.
Yes.
You can see by the number of players that's playing, and you can see it by the crowd complement at PGA tours and whatever else, in the sense of how many, what is the colour difference in the interest. But then again, you can look at soccer and you say there's a lot of black people and coloured people. But we're talking about golf today, and my dream as a person, as vice chairman of Jamestown Golf Club, is to do whatever I can to be like your glass on the ground, a drop inside the glass making a difference, and try to stimulate more drops inside the glass to make it full. And when it's full is when we have a more representative, integrated type of golf aspect.
Okay. Where is Jamestown Golf Club situated?
I'm born and bred Jamestowner. So I was, when I opened my eyes, we had our strawberry fields and so forth. That was the main attraction for Jamestown, strawberry fields, just outside Stellenbosch, at the foot of Stellenbosch Mountain. And the Zalze is neighbouring us, and that is our little town, the centre point of Jamestown Golf Club.
Okay. Is there open days coming up, or is the club open to the public just to want to come?
Yes, we do. We have a full-on roster for the year. We have our club champs, which consists of 2 days consecutively. We have our biddable knockouts, which is gone already. We are busy with our winter knockouts that starts now this Sunday. We have a Memorial Golf Day, which is very sentimental, where we've lost members of our club, and we commemorate them every year with having this golf day. And what is nice about this golf club, and which makes me very proud of this club, is the fact that we're supposed to be a non-profitable organization, but this one event we have every year, which is called the Memorial Golf Day. All the proceedings of that day goes to a predetermined beneficiary. We've sorted people out with earpieces, we sorted people out with wheelchair, we sorted people out with blankets, and you name it. And to hand over a check, we supported cancer in Paul, for instance, because one of our guys had cancer and he survived. And the 1 year we just felt we're going to give that proceeds to that entity that assisted him, not physically only, but also psychologically. We've lost our chairman last year, Keenan Dreyer, and it was a sad day, a sad time in our golf club, and we miss him a lot. But he is a guy that also did some deep footprints that we just can follow and lead into. Set good structure, good foundation for the club just to go forward. And those are the type of role models that we want to try and get into that glass as more drops in the glass to fill it up.
And also transform the youth into great leaders.
Absolutely.
For the future, future of Jamestown Golf Club. I mean, it's amazing what you've accomplished thus far. And for people who think that the sport is inaccessible, especially if they come from, say, impoverished circumstances, is there some sort of answer for them in terms of accessibility?
Yes, join Jamestown Golf Club.
You've got it. You've got a plan.
We've got the structures. We've proven by track record that we can, and we have, and we've proven that we've against all adversity we've survived.
Okay, so you are able currently to support people with transport and equipment and stuff who are starting out with the sport?
Not yet, but to a certain extent, yes, juniors. We've got sponsors helping juniors with clubs. We are, like I mentioned earlier, Saga, and then also SAGDB, South African Golf Development Board, that has got funding to help juniors coming into a program with a great guy called Sean Adrianse from Atlantis. And he's a phenomenal guy, spirited, enthusiasm of sorts, driving 30,000 kilometers a month on his car to Robertson, all those places to develop juniors. So yes, for juniors in particular there is. Scraping a bit for seniors, there's not really funding for them. And just continue on the roster for the year. We've got our open day every year. We've got our black tie event this year, which is on the 8th of June in the town hall of Stellenbosch. Quite exciting times. You can see all the skills of dancing and all that instead of just playing golf. And then we've got our fundraiser at Somerset West, and then we've got a corporate day planned at the Zalza, which is all these highlights that we're looking forward to. We also have every year, end of October, every weekend, end of October, we have a tour, a 3-day tour. The whole executive gets fired, and a new captain, 2 captains are selected. We divided the bus in 2. We play a President or Ryder Cup format, and it's just a lacquer, almost a relaxation of rules to let the guys a bit away from competitive golf and just relax, which is great. We had our first flying high tour, which we flew to Sun City, and it was fantastic. We enjoyed it thoroughly. And this is opportunity that the club gives oaks that will never be able to fly where we went to. We fly every day or every week on business and all that. And these oaks never went on a plane before. And the excitement that we saw was phenomenal. Teeing off at Gary Player just before the Nedbank last year was, with all the stadiums and stands, there was fantastic to see in the guys' eyes of
it's so different watching it on TV and actually being there, hey?
Absolutely. Even if it was before the event. So when you watch the event, you can say, we walked there, I made a birdie there, or whatever else. So those are the type of things that we've achieved, and we try to make a good mark wherever we go. And we've got a track record with Kingswood, Platinum Bay, Mossel Bay, George, and you name it, Arabella, Erenville. So I think we've done something right.
Oh no, absolutely. And just from your demeanor, I can see how passionate and patriotic you are to your club. And I think it's because it's making your life better to
Very
be
much.
involved in a meaningful way in the communities. Hey.
Very much.
Okay, thank you, Avril. Thank you. And I hope you return to give us more news about the development of your club and your club's effect on all the communities it's trying to outreach to.
Absolutely.
Okay.
God bless.
After the break, we'll be back with other amazing sports. And still on today's show, we've got baseball and boxing coming up later on. Don't go anywhere.